Mouth says to serve the medical saint. But the kneeling cushion has never been used. You're full of lies. And with this suit of armor of mine, I can clearly see where the energy is going. Since you appeared, this person, Snake, and Scorpion have been following you, looking ominous. And how come I feel like I've encountered this kind of energy before? I remember. It's similar to the shadow behind you when we were detoxifying Zuiji before. Want to cooperate like this? Zuiji is affected by the poison. Xing Chen. Go get the sacred medicine. I'll suppress the toxins in Zuiji's body. The sect leader throws his mechanical armor towards Zuiji, and it fixes itself onto his body. System. Activate the battle armor life support system. Xingchen rushes toward the coffin to get the sacred lotus to cure Zuiji. And when he is just near it, extending his hand to take the sacred lotus, the soul of the medical saint appears in front of him. For mere toxins, it's too much to use the pure heart sacred lotus. I won't repeat it a second time. Move aside. Even if it's a remnant soul, I can still make you scatter. It took 3,000 years for the pure heart sacred lotus to grow 8 petals, each of which can be a world-class elixir. The toxins in his body are just minor, easily solved with a wave of my hand. Why should I trust you? Because the bone-biting poison is unique to me. As repayment for witnessing your camaraderie, I'll save him. The medicine saint threw 7 acupuncture needles towards Zuiji to remove the poison from his body. Good and evil are unclear. How can I trust you? But as the sect leader stood in front of Zuiji, the needles passed through the sect leader's body. When the sect leader looked back, he saw that the needles had separated the poison, which had taken the form of a snake, from Zuiji's body. The bone-biting poison seems weakened. Looks like you've tried to detoxify before. But only I can completely remove my poison. After being poisoned by the bone-biting poison, his spiritual roots were completely lost, and he was weak for life. Yet this kid regained his extraordinary spiritual roots and strong physique again. Now, after completely detoxifying, his innate spiritual roots are merging. I can feel the secondary divine-level spiritual roots condensing within him. This is also his destiny. Medical saint, isn't it? I know you've been gone for thousands of years, and the poison on Zuiji couldn't have been yours. So by saving him, I owe you a favor. Medical saint, did you open the sacred tomb to bring out the pure heart sacred lotus? Exactly, such a divine medicine should be used to help the people. Not withering away here. The pure heart sacred lotus was planted by my wife and me together, hoping to compensate for her congenital deficiencies. However, due to the long growth time of the sacred lotus, she ultimately couldn't wait. But you, being a saint, with a long life, why would you, without her in this world, it means nothing to me. I took in the poison myself and ended it here. Then why not go accompany your wife instead of existing here as a soul? The sacred lotus is the fruit of our love. I don't want to entrust it to others, so I wait here for the destined one. And my wife's soul has been by my side all along. But because the poison has entered my soul, creating these poisonous snakes and scorpions, she's a bit afraid of me getting close. So she musters up courage every day, and only dares to stay with me for 1 or 2 hours. So I also want to find someone destined to pass on this poison. This is the poison skill that can slaughter martial emperors, a rare skill. Then why not just pass on this poison skill to your servant, even though he doesn't seem very honest? Wu Ju Xieshin is no mere servant. His actions are elusive, and he regards human life as nothing. When he went mad while practicing, he sought my treatment. The sacred lotus could heal his injuries, so I used the sacred lotus as bait and sealed him in the tomb. And because only those I acknowledge as destined can bring out the sacred lotus. So, that's why I've been trapped here by you for 3,000 years. Fortunately, although I now only have emperor-level cultivation, with the starvation art, otherwise, I would have been the first emperor to die of starvation. No wonder. I have always felt like I was being watched over the past few thousand years. Turns out you haven't entered reincarnation after your death. Now that the pure heart sacred lotus has appeared, I no longer need to hide my abilities. Although I can't hold it for long, I can still temporarily regain my strength. 5 Extreme Evil Domain. In my domain, those with cultivation lower than mine will have their spiritual power stripped away. the stronger their spiritual power, the greater the oppression they'll face. You all better step aside, wait for me to get the sacred lotus. And leave your whole corpses, thousands of years ago. I was invincible among the evil sects with this domain. You mere martial emperors, kneel before this saint. Ants, hold on a second. Does your domain have any other abilities? If not, I'm going to start slapping your face.